So, we are living in this incredible new world with access to some seriously powerful AI. But let's be honest, if you've ever used it, you've probably noticed it can sometimes give back some weird or just frankly unhelpful answers. Well, today, we're going to fix that. Does this look familiar? You ask a question, and the response you get is just off. It's a super common frustration, but I've got some good news for you. The problem probably isn't you, and it's not even really the AI. It all comes down to how you're asking. You know, the best way to think about this is that AI is like a really, really powerful genie. And as you can see here, if you make a vague wish for just stuff, you might end up with a pile of old socks. But if you're super specific about what you want, you get a masterpiece. Your prompts are your wishes, and in this explainer, you're going to learn how to make every single one of them count. So what does this superpower actually look like in action? Well, the difference between a vague prompt and a really well-crafted one is just massive. It's the difference between getting something totally bland and generic versus something that feels like it was created just for you. A vague prompt is kind of like asking for food and getting a single dry cracker. I mean, it's technically food, right? But it's not very satisfying. A specific prompt, though, that's like ordering a pizza with all your favorite toppings. You've given it all the details, and you get a result that's perfectly tailored to what you actually wanted. Okay, so how do you do this every single time? Well, thankfully, you don't have to guess. There's a really simple framework for crafting great prompts, and all you have to do is remember one word: clear. Yep, CLEAR. It stands for context, length, examples, audience, and role. Let's break each one down, because this is where you'll really learn to take control of the AI. First up, C is for context. This is all about the why. Don't just ask a question. You gotta tell the AI why you're asking. This one simple step helps it narrow its focus and get rid of all the irrelevant information you don't need. And look, this perfectly illustrates the point. Without any context, the AI is just guessing what you want from this huge sea of possibilities. But when you add that little bit of context, like telling it this is for a school essay about government and survival, it can zero in and deliver a targeted, really useful answer. Next up, L is for length. Have you ever asked for a quick summary and gotten a giant wall of text? Or, the opposite. Specifying the length you want solves this problem forever. It's going to save you so much time and effort. Think of it like you're adjusting the dials. You can be as precise as you want. Using phrases like in 3 bullet points or in a single sentence puts you right in the driver's seat, letting you fine-tune the output to the exact format you need. E is for examples, and honestly, this might be one of the most powerful tricks in the book. If you want the AI to adopt a certain style or tone, the absolute easiest way to get it right is to just show it an example of what you mean. I mean, look at this. If you just ask for a funny caption, the AI has no idea what your sense of humor is. But if you give it a short example of the kind of humor you want, say a sarcastic inner monologue style, it can learn from that and give you something that is so much closer to what you actually had in mind. Okay, let's move on to A for audience. Who is this information for? Is it for a kid, an expert, a total beginner? Telling the AI who it's talking to allows it to completely adapt its vocabulary, its tone, and its complexity. This is such a great example of how much audience matters. Tell the AI to explain a black hole to a physicist, and you'll probably get something complex and technical. But ask it to explain the same thing to a child, and you might get a simple analogy, like a cosmic vacuum cleaner. It's the same topic, but tailored for a completely different person. And finally, R is for role. This one is the ultimate hack. You can literally assign the AI a persona, a job title. And this doesn't just change the answer, it transforms the entire interaction. It's like having a team of world-class experts on demand 24/7. When you tell the AI to act as a world-class chef, you don't just get a recipe, you get amazing tips and techniques. When you tell it to be a fitness coach, you get encouragement. This instantly shapes the style, the tone, and the content of the response to be exactly what you need. Now, these principles, they're not just for text, they are also the key to creating incredible, jaw-dropping images with AI. The rules are pretty similar, but with an even greater focus on visual detail. A great image prompt has 4 key ingredients. You need a subject, an action or setting, a style, and what I like to call magic words, all those little details about lighting, color, and quality. So let's build one from scratch to see how this really works. Okay, so we start with the most basic prompt you can imagine, a robot. The result is going to be generic, probably boring, and definitely not what you wanted at all.
All right, now let's just add a simple action and a little bit of personality. A friendly robot waving. Okay, a little better. It has some character now, but it's still kind of floating in a void.
So let's add a setting, standing in a futuristic city. See? Now we're getting somewhere. The setting provides that crucial context and just makes the image way more interesting.
And for the final step, we layer in the style and those all-important magic words. A friendly, retro-style robot from the 1950s. At sunset, digital painting, vibrant colors, cinematic lighting. And boom, you've just gone from a boring sketch to a potential masterpiece. But here's the real secret. This is the thing that separates the beginners from the experts. Your first prompt is almost never your last. The real magic happens when you stop thinking of it as a single command and start treating it like a conversation.
So let's just watch how this plays out. You start with a broad, general request, like just asking for some science fair ideas. The AI gives a pretty generic, but, reasonable first response. This isn't the end of the road, though. This is just the starting point of our conversation. Now, you iterate, you give feedback. You tell the AI, hey, those first ideas were a little too simple, and you refine your request asking for something more advanced and more specific. And just like that, the AI adjusts. It provides a much, much better list of ideas that are perfectly aligned with your new, more specific request. But we're not even done yet. And here's the final brilliant step. You select the best idea and you iterate again, but this time you combine it with our CLEAR method by assigning the AI a role. You're basically sculpting the conversation, guiding it to the exact answer you need. Whew, we've covered a ton. So let's wrap this all up with a quick summary of your new prompting toolkit.
It really all comes back to this one simple framework, CLEAR. If you can just think through these 5 elements before you send your prompt, I promise you are going to see a dramatic improvement in your results.
The ability to talk to AI is one of the most powerful new skills you can possibly learn. It's not about knowing all the answers. It's about knowing how to ask the right questions. So the genie is out of the bottle, and now you know exactly what to wish for. Go make some magic.